Is this who you are watching?
Hey guys, it's Raspberry and Jam Game here, and today we're going to be covering more Kirby lore within the video games. So these are the games we're going to be covering today. We'll be covering Kirby's Dreamland, the old version, as well as Spring Breeze, the one in Superstars, and then Kirby's Adventure, and then Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland. Nightmare in Dreamland is actually the canon version. Kirby's Dream Courses aren't necessarily canon, but it's part of the canon for some reason. We'll be covering Milky Way Wishes because Marx is a part of that continuity, so we've got to get that one out of the way. We're doing Revenge of the King. This includes Bandana Waddle Dee, which is an important character later in the series. We'll be doing Dyna Blade, just a bird character that actually helps in the next minigame. Revenge of Meta Knight is very important because the Hellbird is seen at the bottom of the ocean in future Kirby games, which is seen in the bottom of the ocean in one of the Kirby games. Then we'll be covering Kirby's Dreamland 2 and 3. And lastly, Kirby and the Crystal Shards. Without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. Kirby's Dreamland. For some reason, Kirby is what? There is a very special place known as Dreamland. The Dreamlanders are very happy people who use their magical stars to play and work among the heavens. That is until one dark night when the gluttonous King Dedede and his rotten band of thieves swooped down from the neighboring Mount Dedede for a midnight snack in Dreamland. Kirby's Dreamland takes place in Dreamland, where all the people live happy lives. One day, a band of thieves, led by King Dedede, swoops down from Mount Dedede and steals all the food from the land, as well as the sparkling stars from the sky. Kirby, an outsider who recently came to Dreamland along the Spring Breeze, cannot stand for this and heads to Mount Dedede to retrieve the stolen goods and save the land. Kirby travels through 5 areas of Dreamland to reach King Dedede. At the end of each land, Kirby must do battle with one of King Dedede's top goons, in the form of a boss, who will drop one sparkling star upon defeat. After defeating Dedede and collecting the last of these stars, Kirby uses them to inhale into a giant hot air balloon and carry Dedede's castle all across the land, showering the stolen food back onto the kingdom. With that done, Kirby returns to normal size and lands on a podium to be cheered by the denizens of Dreamland. Spring Breeze, Superstar Ultra. There's trouble in Dreamland. King Dedede and his soldiers have stolen all the food in Dreamland. Here comes our hero, riding in on the Spring Breeze. Some call it Kirby. Let the adventure begin. Much like Kirby's Dreamland, King Dedede has stolen all the food in Dreamland, prompting Kirby to set out to Mount Dedede to get it back. And despite finding plenty of food along the way, as Kirby makes his way to the castle, he must fight Dedede's minions and recover the sparkling stars they are guarding, after eventually defeating King Dedede in his castle and retrieving the 4th and final sparkling star. Kirby uses the power of the stars he obtained to inflate into an enormous hot air balloon, becoming bigger than the castle itself and carrying it all over Dreamland, raining the stolen food down onto the kingdom. Although Kirby eventually deflates into his normal size again, the 4 sparkling stars keep the castle in the air as a crowd of grateful citizens cheers for Kirby. Revenge of the King. King Dedede wants to get revenge on Kirby after the events of Spring Breeze, so he steals the sparkling stars again, musters his forces, fortifies his castles, and sends Kirby a challenge. Kirby sets off to defeat him by traversing the land and besting his minions. He retrieves the sparkling stars along the way, using them to form the Starship and battle Cape Lore and gain access to the castle. Once inside, once again Kirby charges forward to the throne room as King Dedede sends the last of his minions in a desperate bid to stop the Pink Menace. As this happens, Dedede is having a running conversation with his closest soldier, Bandana Waddle Dee, who bravely defends his king despite being dismissed. Once Kirby reaches the ring, he battles Dedede, who has donned a mask and a jet hammer for the occasion. Once defeated, King Dedede is knocked out of his castle once more. He and the remainder of his Waddle Dees roam the desert in disgrace, in the knowledge that they simply cannot beat Kirby. Kirby's Adventure. One day, the peaceful life of Dreamland was shattered by a mysterious crisis. The inhabitants didn't dream. One day in Dreamland, Kirby wakes up from a nap, realizing that he hasn't had a pleasant dream all night. It heads to the Dream Spring, the source of all restful and pleasant dreams in the kingdom, to figure out what went wrong. Once there, he finds out that King Dedede has stolen the Star Rod, the source of all the spring's power. Dedede has broken the rod into 7 pieces, giving 6 to his allies, and keeping the 7th one for himself. Kirby adventures through Dreamland to fight Dedede's allies, retrieve the 7 Star Rod pieces, and return the reassembled Star Rod to the Dream Spring. After Kirby retrieves all the Star Rod pieces and unites them, he places the Star Rod atop the Dream Spring, despite King Dedede's desperate efforts to dissuade him. Suddenly, an eerie, malevolent being named Nightmare emerges from the spring and flies into the starry space, surrounding Dreamland in darkness. King Dedede evidently had known that Nightmare infected the spring, and had hidden the Star Rod to seal Nightmare within the enhanced spring. With his efforts undone by Kirby, the king then launches the pink puffball into the sky, so that he can personally defeat Nightmare with the completed Star Rod. When Kirby finally defeats Nightmare, a huge hole is blown into the moon. He returns to Dreamland and reconciles with King Dedede. Kirby is then finally free to return the Star Rod to its rightful place atop the Dream Spring without further incident, allowing good dreams to return to the people of Dreamland. Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland. Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland shares the same basic premise and story as Kirby's Adventure. It begins when Kirby wakes up one day to realize that he hasn't had any dreams. Suspecting something to be wrong with the Fountain of Dreams, he heads there to find the Star Rod missing from its rightful place at the crest of the fountain. Shortly after, he discovers that his old rival King Dedede has stolen the Star Rod and broken it into 7 pieces, each then given to one of Dedede's friends, the bosses of each level. While not knowing the reason for this, Kirby nonetheless resolves to get the pieces and reassemble the Star Rod so it can go back to where it belongs. After traversing Dreamland and retrieving the first of the 6 pieces of the Star Rod, Kirby returns to the Fountain of Dreams and battles King Dedede for the last piece. Kirby resoundingly trounces the king, and after reassembling the Star Rod, places it back onto the fountain as Dedede desperately drags onto Kirby's heels, begging him not to do it. Kirby quickly figures out why, as upon placing the Star Rod on the fountain, a great darkness emerges and is freed upon the world. Kirby then uses the Star Rod to battle Nightmare, defeating him and blowing a massive hole in the moon in the process. I tell you what, Kirby is on the same level as the Eclipse Cannon from Sonic Adventure 2. With this deed done, Kirby finally returns the Star Rod to the fountain without further issue and forgives King Dedede for what he had done, knowing he was only trying to safeguard the kingdom. Kirby's Dream Course. After a lazy day, Kirby hopes to have a good dream in the starlight. He notices all the stars in the night sky are gone, save for one. All the following nights are the same. Worried, Kirby takes a telescope and gazes into the night sky. As he does, he finds King Dedede floating by in the distance, pulling the last star behind him. Dedede realizes that the pink buffalo is watching and speeds off, dropping the star. It lands on the ground near Kirby and pursues the king at his floating castle. After lengthy levels, King Dedede is defeated, and the stars are returned to the night sky. Dyna Blade. Dyna Blade is briefly shown flying in the background before she flies by Kirby and the Lovelies. The swoop causes the Lovelies' petal to be blown off, and the butterflies to fly away. After the apple wakes Kirby up, the tree he sat on gets chopped off. Kirby then runs off into the background as another mountain gets split in half and the feather falls. After defeating Dyna Blade, Kirby notices that she has 3 chicks in a nest. Kirby then realizes that Dyna Blade only stole the crops to feed her chicks, so he decides to take the nest to Wispy Woods and then shakes the tree to force it to drop apples into the mouths of the chicks. After the chicks are fed, Kirby flies with them in the sunset, but one of them starts to lose flight and begins descending, so Dyna Blade picks them up. Afterwards, Kirby waves farewell to Dyna Blade and the chicks. Meta Knight's Revenge. Mushroom forces and technology hitherto unknown in Dreamland. His Meta Knights and a motley crew of vicious different types of creatures gather and prepare to launch a gigantic flying warship known as the Hellbird, headed by a Waddle Dee known as Sailor Waddle Dee, and helmed by the anthropomorphic vulture named Captain Vu. Meta Knight believes that Dreamland has become corrupted and lazy, and intends to take the kingdom under his own name. Overhearing the plot, Kirby sets out with nothing but a warp star to try to stop it. He approaches the ship's deck as it's beginning to take off, and lands with the intent to board the ship. Meta Knight and Vol order their crew to dispose of Kirby with the utmost haste. As the pink nuisance makes their way to the back of the thrusters of the ship, there is a crustacean-like robot called the Heavy Lobster is dispatched to slow Kirby down, giving the Hellbird crew just enough time to take off, blowing Kirby and the Heavy Lobster off the dock of the ship and into a nearby ocean. After Kirby climbs onto a remote island, he quickly moves to try to find a way to pursue the Hellbird as it flies off to conquer Dreamland, starting with Grape Garden. He stumbles into a fight with Wispy Woods and then Twin Woods, defeating them quickly as he can. With this done, Kirby acquires another warp star and takes off after the Hellbird again. However, he is shot out of the sky by the Hellbird's main cannon, sending him careening into a forest near Candy Mountain. Kirby worms his way out of the woods and climbs the mountain to enlist the aid of an old friend, the great bird Dyna Blade. who agrees to take the beleaguered puffball on her back to approach the Hellbird a third time. Dyna Blade takes on heavy fire from the Hellbird as she approaches, ultimately taking a hit from the cannon's laser blast, though she succeeds in depositing Kirby on the ship's deck, where he can do his work. The Hellbird crew decides to lower Kirby into the foot of the combo cannon, which they believe will roast him. Kirby instead destroys it, dealing major damage to the bow of the ship. From there, Kirby makes his way to the wings. After a battle with Mr. Frosty, severely damages the left wing. Captain Voa attempts to corner Kirby in the docks using another heavy lobster. Following a brief chase, Kirby lowers the heavy lobster into an open area and then destroys the robot, the explosion destroying the right wing as well. Kirby then makes his way to the hull of the ship as the crew begins to panic. He finds the central reactor of the ship and uses its own laser cannon against it to disable the ship's power supply, freeing all the wheelies that were being used to generate their power. With the ship powerless and rapidly losing altitude, Kirby heads towards the helm, beating back any remaining crew members who had not yet evacuated. Kirby finds himself in the captain's cabin, where he duels with Meta Knight directly into an additional sword fight. Meta Knight is forced to retreat momentarily when Kirby breaks his mask, and the cabin of the Hellbird explodes. Kirby is flung away from the explosion and tumbles down the lower levels of the ship, where he finds a stray wheelie from the reactor room. The two of them team up to ride off the wrecked ship, but a remasked Meta Knight reappears, suddenly sprouts wings, and desperately tries to stop them from escaping. With Kirby's work complete, he rides his wheelie friend down a desert road and off into the sunset, while Meta Knight flies to parts unknown. Milky Way Wishes. One day in year ... the sun and moon began to fight day and night. Marks. Hey, can you make peace between the sun and moon? You need to ask the giant comet Nova for help. But first, there's something that we must do. To ask Nova, we must gather power from all the stars around us. It will be difficult, Kirby, but you can do it. We're counting on you. Good luck. The story begins as Kirby and the other onlookers witness the sun and moon of Popstar fighting endlessly for the control of the sky, causing day and night to shift dramatically. As they look on, a small jester named Marks comes riding in on a bull, telling Kirby that the only way to stop this is to summon the giant comet Nova using the energy from the planets of the starry path. Kirby visits 7 major planets, collecting a star from each one. Once he has all 7, he uses them to summon the great comet Nova from beyond space and time. Nova proclaims to Kirby that he may have one wish, but before Kirby can make that wish, Marks appears out of nowhere, bumps Kirby out of the way, and wishes for complete control of Popstar. Nova grants Marks his wish, as he gloats to Kirby, saying that he got the sun and moon to fight in order to steal this opportunity. Both Nova and Marks fly off towards Popstar, as Kirby is left stranded out in space. Thankfully, the stars he collected coalesce into a starship, which Kirby uses to make chase. The sun and moon come back to their senses and hold off Nova, giving Kirby time to enter the Great Clockwork Beast and disable its nucleus, preventing it from granting Marks' wish. From there, Kirby has to battle Marks directly. Upon defeating him in his powered up form, Marks goes careening into the disabled Nova, causing both of them to explode and the day to be saved. Kirby's Dreamland 2. Prior to the start of Kirby's journey, the rainbows that connected the Rainbow Islands of Dreamland had been stolen by Dark Matter, who wants to turn the land into a dark world. He has taken control of King DDD in order to realize his plans. Thus, Kirby and his friends set out to save Dreamland. In order to do so, they must not only overcome the mind-controlled king and his henchmen, but also recover the rainbow drops hidden on each island. Kirby succeeds in finding all the rainbow drops and beats DDD in battle on the roof of Dark Castle. The drops combine to form the rainbow sword as Dark Matter escapes from the defeated king's body. Using the powerful sword, Kirby is able to fly high into the sky for a duel with Dark Matter himself. After emerging victorious, he briefly loses the weapon and starts plummeting to the ground in exhaustion, as his friends and King DDD watch him. However, he soon becomes fully awake again and regains the rainbow sword, using it to restore the rainbows that Dark Matter had stolen. Kirby's Dreamland 3. The setting of Kirby's Dreamland 3 is Popstar, Kirby's home planet. During the introduction scene, Kirby and Gumi are seen having fun during a fishing trip. However, while they seemingly enjoy the peaceful day, a black cloud appears in the sky. The black mass enters Popstar's atmosphere, thereby shattering its rings and quickly spreads over the whole planet. Those who come in contact with the cloud get possessed by it, a fate that befalls many of the Popstar's denizens, even including King DDD. As the cloud's activity commences, Cole the Owl arrives hastily, notifies Kirby and Gooey of what is going on. The two can only watch from a nearby hill as the cloud conquers Popstar, together with Kirby's new friends from Kirby's Dreamland 2, Rick, Vine, and Cole, and 3 new friends, Nuggo, Choo Choo, and Pitch. Kirby sets out on a journey to free their home from the clutches of the intruder. Kirby and his friends travel through the 5 main areas of Popstar, helping many citizens along the way, and fighting to free those under the cloud's possession, gaining a heart star through every deed. When Kirby has collected all 30 heart stars, he enters the Hyperzone and fights Dark Matter, who was controlling the clouds. The Heartstars all combine together to create the Love Stick, which Kirby wields during battle. The two of them engage in a battle as Dark Matter's master reveals itself. Zero. Kirby manages to defeat Zero and expel Dark Matter and the Dark Clouds from his home, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, on a far-off planet called Ripple Star, which is inhabited by fairies who guard a powerful crystal. Shortly before the game begins, an ill-wielded cloud of darkness called Dark Matter attacks Ripple Star. Concerned with the crystal's safety, the Queen instructs Ribbon, a young fairy, to take the crystal and escape to a safe place with it. Ribbon obeys her ruler, but as she flies off into deep space, she is pursued by fragments of Dark Matter. Eventually they catch up to her and shatter her crystal, splitting it into several crystal shards and causing Ribbon to plummet towards Kirby's home planet of Popstar. It's not long before Ribbon meets Kirby, as she unintentionally uses him to break her fall. After both of them find and merge two of the shattered crystal shards, Ribbon explains her predicament to Kirby, who instantly agrees to help her out. While they search for the missing shards on planet Popstar, they come across Waddle Dee, an artist girl called Adeline, and even Kirby's rival, King Dedede. Each of them find a crystal shard and subsequently get possessed by fragments of Dark Matter that followed Ribbon. One by one, Kirby purchases them of the evil substance and convinces them to join his cause. The group then travels to several planets to look for the shards, using the crystal's ability to open portals to new worlds. After traveling through several regions on numerous planets, the group finally gets the chance to see Ripple Star, only to witness the planet in a sorrowful state, covered by thick clouds of Dark Matter. Ribbon is visibly shocked to see her home planet in such a condition, but the rest of the group quickly reassures her. They then journey to Ripple Star together, where they battle their way through the palace and confront Miracle Matter, the apparent master of Dark Matter. Kirby manages to defeat his foe and restore peace to the fairy planet. With all the crystals collected by Kirby and his friends, the restored crystal reveals the Queen to be possessed and expels the Dark Matter from her body. This remaining Dark Matter then flies off into space, where it forms a new level called Dark Star. Intending to destroy this threat once and for all, Kirby calls his Warp Star, and the group use it to fly into the new eerie world. Once inside, Kirby and Ribbon gain a boost from their friends in order to combat Zero-2, the true master of Dark Matter, who bears a striking resemblance to Kirby's old enemy, Zero, and they do battle. The two of them manage to defeat the creature with the help of the crystal shards, and the Dark Matter is eliminated for good. To thank the heroes for their efforts, the Queen of Ripple Star awards each of Kirby's team with a medal in the form of a crystal shard. In the end, Kirby also receives a kiss from Ribbon. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I enjoyed making this video, and I appreciate you guys watching all the way through. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. There will be more Kirby videos on the way, so don't stress about that. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.